What's going on, YouTube? I want to welcome some of y'all back. Welcome some of y'all for the first time. If you're new to this channel, this is the Scholar Route, where I speak on things that I experience on a day-to-day basis, different things that happen to me, my perception, what I think about certain things that are happening and the reality around all of us and things of that nature. But mostly my channel is driven towards prosperity and abundance. So if you're into that type of stuff, prosperity and abundance, like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell and drop a comment below. Let me know how you feel. So let's get straight into this video, right? I lost my job. Now what? Okay. For those of you that do not know me personally, which most people viewing this probably don't know me, right? But that's okay though. I have gone through adversity, resistance, and I've gotten in a lot of trouble my whole life. Now, the trouble that I've gotten into, it hasn't ever been anything serious. Like, I never really hurt anybody like that, or, nothing too crazy. But I've gotten in trouble my whole life. Whether I'm making a trouble or whatever the case was, I got in trouble, okay? And I've had a lot of jobs in my life as well. When I say a lot, I've probably had close to 70 jobs in my life, and I'm still young. I'm still young. I'm not going to tell you my age, but that's not important. But I've had close to 70 jobs, right? Some of which I may have lost the same day or the very next day, the very following day. But that shows that I'm successful at getting a job. I'm just not as successful at keeping the job. You know what I mean? So as I still sit inside of a semi truck, I'm in a semi truck right here, right now. Like, I'm in a semi truck. I'm still in my truck. I'm still in my semi truck. This is a semi truck. This is what I do. I've been driving semi trucks for 5 years. Going on 5 years now, right? However, I can honestly say that it has come to an end. It's come to an end. Right now I'm in Florida. I'm out here in the Villages, Florida. I was visiting some family, and make a long story short, I failed a drug test. I just had a drug test this past week, this past Wednesday, and my dispatch, she let me know that I had a random drug test. I had to take a random P test, urinalysis P test, after I delivered my load in Missouri, or after I picked up my load in Missouri, or whatever the case was, right? So I have to confess, I knew at the time that my urine wasn't going to be clean. Like, I knew that if I didn't do something, that I wouldn't pass the test, right? So the whole time while I'm on my way to Missouri, I'm racking my brain. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? So my goal was to go to a smoke shop, grab a detox before I take the test, before I take the drug test, and cross my fingers and hopefully I pass. When I go in for a P test, I'm well prepared to pass. Well prepared to pass. And that's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. But this time, they got me. They got me. For whatever reason, the detox didn't work, and they got me. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's all that needs to be said about that, right? So this past Friday, the results came in. The results came back from the P test, and at the time, I was in the middle of a move. I had just delivered out here in Florida, in Orlando. I just delivered in Orlando, and I picked up in Orlando, and I was on my way closer to another location in Ocala to pick up another load, to pick up another container, to bring that all the way to Portland, Oregon. and then I was going to end up in Washington, Everett, Washington. So I had some big miles on the plate. You know, I was in the midst of making all these moves and doing all this stuff, and then just like that, flat. Get the call. Hey, we need you to call the MRO place because yeah, there's something going on with your drug test. We need you to call them as soon as possible. Pull over though. Pull over and call the MRO place. So right there, that says it all right there. That says it all right there. Okay? Why do I have to call anybody about my drug test? You know, like that, you know, so right there, that clear indication that you're fucked. Like, you know, they got you, right? So that's okay though. So I've been camping out here in Florida since this past Friday. I lost my job. They're basically telling me, like, you know, we're gonna figure out. They've already recovered the load. They recovered the load the same day. That night, that Friday night, they sent another driver, and we swapped out flatbeds. And I have his empty flatbed on my back right now, and he took my loaded containers, and I gave him the paperwork, and he's going to now go to Portland, Oregon, which was my load originally. My load. I was gonna do that. That's okay though. So that's how that went down. So now it's just a waiting game to see how they're going to redeem the truck and get me back to Pennsylvania so I can grab my vehicle and basically be completely terminated. So I think the goal is for them to send another driver and have him drive this truck while I'm still in it, me and my dog. I still have my dog. So I guess they're gonna have another driver come here into this truck, and because I'm not able to perform safety sensitive duties after coming up with a positive drug screen. That's just how it goes when you have a CDL and you drive commercial vehicles, or you perform safety sensitive procedures like that. You've been relieved from your duties now, right? So they're gonna send another driver. He's gonna drive me back to Pennsylvania, where I will then get my van and get my camper, and I'll have my van and my camper. Okay, for all y'all that might just be looking at this video right here right now, you'll know that I have a van and a camper. By some of my later videos, you'll see that I'm in my van or I'm in my camper. And so that's what my living arrangement is when I'm not inside the truck. And I haven't seen my van and my camper in 5 months. I've been with this company for 5 months. I've been driving trucks for 5 years, 4 or 5 years. I've been driving semi-trucks. But I haven't seen my van and my camper in 4 or 5 months. So the first thing I'm gonna do when I get back to my van and my camper is I'm gonna get some new tires, for my van, get some new tires for my camper, and I'm gonna hit the road. I'm gone, you know, like that. I'm gone. I've been in this situation before, multiple times, more times than many people. I've been fired more times than many people, not just from truck companies, but from companies before I even started driving trucks. Okay, you know. So I don't want to work for anybody though. So now what? What do I do? And we're 9 minutes in. I don't want to work for anybody. I don't want to, like, when I don't feel like being around people, I don't want to have to still be obligated to go to that location to be around people, if you know what I mean. Like, so basically I want to work for myself. And that's what I'm gonna strive to do. That's what I'm gonna strive to do. Hope y'all excuse me, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. That's what I am going to strive to do. To not have to work for anybody, despite this, okay? Now, that's where I'm at. I lost my job. Now what? I lost my job. Now what? When people lose their job, everybody's situation is going to be different. Everyone's circumstance is going to be different. Some people will be able to weather that storm a little bit better than others. I just so happen to be in a position where, as long as I'm conscious, financially conscious, I should be able to weather the storm, right? I should be able to weather the storm. Now, if I want to go out and, I could splurge a little bit and, go to Panda Express and buy $12 worth of food at Panda Express just to make myself feel good. Because I love Chinese food. I love Panda Express. It's like a delicacy, If I could eat Panda Express every day, or if I could eat Chinese food every day, I would. I mean, if I could beat Chinese, I probably would. That's just besides the point, okay? That is neither here nor there. Okay, as long as I'm financially conscious of what I'm able to do, my past self has already set me up for these types of events. There's been times, right? There's been times where I got fired from a truck company, right? And I had to get all my stuff out of the truck. Now, imagine you staying on the truck for 7 months, just living in a truck, or you staying in a truck for a whole year. You're living in that truck because you don't have a physical address. Like, all your mail gets sent to whatever your home state is. However, you don't take home time. Like, you don't have a physical residence where you actually keep all your stuff. So you just, because when I first started driving trucks, I was homeless. And all I had was everything that I had inside of a shopping cart. And I started driving trucks. So, can you imagine having to haul all that stuff with you, and you have it with you on a truck, but then something happens, something unexpected happens, and then you lose that position or you lose that job. You got to get all of your personal stuff out of the truck. I mean, I could leave it all in there, but then they'll charge me to move it, right? So, excuse me. When it comes down to it, I've been in that situation a handful of times where I've had to get all my stuff out of the truck, put it all into a motel or a hotel, and now I'm sitting here racking my brain about what I'm gonna do next. I mean, I got money. Like, at the time, I'll have money, I'll have money, but as the days roll by, $80 a day at a hotel or a motel or whatever, chances are I bought a rental, so now I got to pay for the rental expenses on top of, the $80 or $90 a day or whatever it is to stay at the hotel and stuff like that. And I'm surrounded. I mean, the whole room is just filled up with stuff, right? The whole room just filled up with all my stuff, right? I've been in that situation a handful of times, to the point where I just know what that looks like, and I know that going through that was necessary for me to make the necessary adjustments to set myself up, so when and if it does happen again, at least I have a place to put my stuff immediately, So that's when I got smart, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna spend however much money it costs for me to buy at least a van. I'm gonna get a van, something big, something very big, a big vehicle. Okay, I don't want a small. Can you back up, please? Can you back up, please? Can you back up? Thanks. Something big enough for me to put all my stuff in for times like this, and at least I'll still have a way to navigate. I can move and I can maneuver, and you get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, all right? Once I started driving trucks, a smaller vehicle was just out of the question for me, okay? A regular sedan, 4-door, no. Either you go big or you go home. That's clear as day. That's it. Period. Go big or go home. Right? And I knew I wasn't trying to go home. That's the thing, because I don't have a home. So I know I wasn't trying to go home, so I had to go big. You know what I'm saying? I had to man up. So that's what I did. At first, I was going to buy a school bus. Make a long story short, I wound up buying a van. I got the van. Okay, And I got back to working my duties. I left Chicago in the van. Van cost me $8,000. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, I ain't got nothing to hide. What am I? Anyway, so van cost $8,000. Boom, I leaves, and I go do what I go do. you know, and I spent a whole lot of money. I blew through like all my funds, all the rest of my finances, just blew through it, you know. Hey, it happens to the best of us, you know what I'm saying? People go bankrupt every day. So, anyway, I wound up camping out in Arizona for like, I don't know, 2 months after that, I think. Yeah, camped out in Arizona for 2 months. Anyway, and then I was still applying for jobs on my phone, okay? If you know how to use your phone, yeah, you could do anything. Anyway, so wound up finding a job, and then I drove to Indiana to start that job. Drove to Indiana to start that job. I mean, obviously a bunch of stuff happened, you know, because I had got a job out there when I was in Arizona, actually, and then I wound up losing that job because of that situation that happened in Oklahoma where I got locked up. Check that video out, you'll see it. And a whole bunch of stuff happened this year. Like a whole bunch of stuff happened this year, but here I am, still here. I'm still here, even after all that, okay? So I went to Indiana to go get the job, started that job. They weren't paying me enough, wound up losing a bunch of stuff, a bunch of personal belongings, identity theft type situation, like a lot of important documents got stolen. Anyway, but I was gonna quit that job because they weren't paying me enough and the dispatch was hella disrespectful, and I feel like my experience wasn't being properly compensated. Okay, so I found another job out in Pennsylvania, the company I'm with right now, or the one that just fired me. And they were paying me a lot more, so I've been rolling with them for like the past 5 months, and I just failed my drug test. So here we are, and you know, we brought it back full circle, kind of. You know, I left out some details, but that's okay. For the purpose of this video, what needed to be said was said. Okay, so what do I do now? Well, I know for one that, and I'm gonna picture you, the viewer, being me, okay? And these are the thoughts that we're gonna go through right now together. Okay, so I know one, I don't wanna work customer service. I don't wanna work customer service, okay? All I know is driving trucks, and all I know is being by myself. So I know that that's just out of the question, okay? That's out of the question. Why would I wanna go back to that when I already know that? I've already done that, okay? Okay, so no, that's out of the question. Don't want to do customer service. Don't want to do retail. Retail sucks. Why would I want to do retail? Why do I want to do retail? Now, if I want to do digital retail or, you know, online retail, that's different because I don't have to come in contact with people and I can do that at my leisure. So we're not going to completely X that idea out because we know how to work our phone, remember? We know how to work the phone, okay? So we know how to work a phone. So that's not completely X'd out. Now, I would also encourage you to write stuff down because that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to write stuff down, and you know, I'm gonna make sure, because I don't know about you, but when I go to sleep, or let's say I had a great idea last week that I thought about, if I didn't write that down, I have to rethink that thought later. And if I didn't write it down, who knows? I mean, it might just go back off into wherever thoughts come from, right? So I'm gonna be writing stuff down, and although I have a laptop, I'm going to go to public libraries. I'm gonna be at a public library somewhere in whatever state that I choose to go to after Pennsylvania. Once I get my van and my camper back, I'm not gonna tell y'all where I'm gonna go just yet, but I'm gonna wind up camping out somewhere in some state, and I'm gonna restructure my life, because for the longest, and I don't know, it might sound cliche, or it might sound like a cop-out or whatever it is, but for starters, I didn't plan on driving trucks, ever. Like, me being a semi-truck operator, commercial vehicle operator, wasn't my first go-to. That's not something that I said, that's what I'm gonna do. It wasn't until I had to make a choice, I had to make a decision, I had to pull myself out of a situation, of a homeless situation, that I said, you know what? I have the brains to pass tests. So, obviously I couldn't pass my drug test, but I digress. But I have the brains to study and pass tests, and I have the drive and the ambition to get shit done, and I like to see results. So that's what I did. That's what I did. And I made a lot of money. I've seen the whole United States. There isn't a state that I haven't been to for an extended period of time. I've been to every state maybe 10 times over, more than that. Okay, so it's been a great experience, but here I am having to make another decision, right? Another life decision right here in front of me, and I have to do it. No one else can do it for me. No one else is going to be willing to do it for me. People want to sit here and watch, or they want to judge what you do, but they don't want to do it for you. Nobody's just going to do it for you. It's up to you to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. You know, and I can get into a lazy rut where all I want to do is just sit back and watch stuff on YouTube all day and call myself doing something, or sit back and drink all day and smoke cigarettes and feel like I'm down on my luck. And, you know, you and I both know that we can do those things, but is that the story that we want to tell at the end of the day? Is that really the story though? No, I don't know about you. That's not the story for me. Okay, so that's not the story for us, because you're watching the scholar route. Okay, this is the scholar route. And I've been a scholar in the past. I'm a scholar now in the present. And I'm going to be a scholar in the future. I'm a scholar. I am a scholar in the future. I am. Okay? I am. Anyway. So, first things first, don't panic, right? Don't panic. When you lose a job, when you get fired, or when you get laid off, or whatever the case is, you hurt yourself and you're not able to fulfill your duties, don't panic. It's the worst thing you can do. Sometimes it's best to just do nothing at first. Sometimes, hey, just approach it, everything, baby steps. Don't make huge leaps, and don't put a lot of pressure on yourself like, oh, I got to do this now. Hey, if you feel like you got to do this now, by all means, do what you feel as though you got to do right now to make your tomorrow that much better. But if it's on your bread or on your brain, take time to process everything before you make your next move. Okay? Now, if you got to pay rent tomorrow and you don't have any money, and you know you're watching the scholar route, and you know you just got fired from your job, then you can go to a temp agency. Okay, you can go to what's called a temp agency. Okay, and what they'll do is they'll help you find a temporary job just so you can make ends meet. Okay, that's option number one. You can always do that. You can jump right in. Option number two. You can go to your unemployment office and you can try and file for unemployment. That's all I'm going to say about that. Number three, you can go on Craigslist and try and look for odd jobs. Do like little odd jobs. Look on Craigslist. Sometimes people need, little stuff done, get their grass cut, whatever it is, odd jobs. Just do odd jobs. If you have the knowledge to do stuff like that. Some people need their pets to be babysat or pet watched or whatever it is. You can do stuff like that. You can really do whatever you want. Okay, you can do whatever you want, because we're in a vast space of opportunity. All right, I need you to look at it like that and keep that in your mind too at the same time. We're in a vast space of opportunity. We're in a vast space of opportunity. Okay, so all you have to do is be present. Excuse me, I didn't mean to blow smoke in your face like that. All you have to do is be present. And I'm present. And although right now I'm starting to vent, I'm just venting. This is the process all within itself of accepting what has happened. And it's not a defeat. By any means, it's not a defeat. Because like I said, we live in a vast space of opportunity. We're surrounded by opportunity. If I wanted to, right, I can go buy a clown costume, or I can buy a clown costume. I can shave my beard, paint my face, and I could just be a professional clown. I would have to learn how to be funny, obviously, and tell practical jokes and make kids laugh, or, do a lot of silly stuff, and, or learn magic. I could be a professional magician or something like that. If I wanted to, I could do that tomorrow. Just paint my face, get the red nose and everything, you know what I'm saying? And come up with some silly name, okay? And do birthday parties and charge, whatever I'm gonna charge, like $500-$600 a party or something like that, You figure if you do 2 birthday parties a week, that's $1,200, or that's like $1,000 a week, $4,000 a month, stuff like that. So that's always an option. If you want to be a professional clown, hey, you got a lot of professional clowns that are running out here right now and they don't even get paid for it. They just a clown every day. In broad daylight, they just a clown. But I'm going off on a tangent as I do sometimes. People do that. We go off on tangents. So just know that being a clown is always an option, right? But let's bring it back. So now what? I lost my job. Now what? What I'm gonna do is, like I said, I'm gonna find a place to be, stay off the radar, and I'm gonna just do what I gotta do, personal to me, behind the scenes. I'm not gonna put myself in front of people's face and, call a lot of family and call a lot of friends and be all like, oh, I'm down on my luck, I just lost my job. It's none of their business. It's nobody's business, because what that's gonna do to you is, now you're making it where people are expecting something, right? They're watching. Now you're giving people a pass to look at your life and pass judgment on your life, and if they're not helping, they're hurting, so sometimes it's best to just keep it to yourself. I mean, yeah, you might have that one specific person, that one special person that you vibe with, and you tell them like, yo, I just need to talk right now, I just want to, whatever, but hey, if that person isn't in the best of financial situation themselves, what good is that going to do you or them when they're trying to still figure it out for themselves? So you're not going to really get much sympathy there. 1, 2, you're just being an asshole. Like, you're just being an asshole by even looking at them for advice or whatever the case is, because you were just possibly doing better than they were. And now you falling on your face and you expect them to pick you up. Nah, it doesn't work like that, my nigga. Like, I'm sorry. All right, I got a little bit beside myself. I'm trying to change the way that I speak, and be more professional. Not use the N-word so much and all this. Anyway, so don't do that. Don't do that. Just keep it to yourself. It's gonna be tough. Keep it to yourself. It's no one else's business but your own. And when I say that, I'm gonna take it a step further. I'm gonna say, it is just that. It's your business. It's your business to take care of your business for you. For you, okay? Now, my situation is probably different from yours. I don't have an apartment. I don't have a house. I have a van and a camper. Now, my camper has a shower in it. I'm not sure if it works. I never tried. I know the AC works, but I'm gonna go somewhere where, the temperature is, reasonable for me. So I take my showers at the gym. Now, I don't work out at the gym. I mean, I work out, but I don't work out at the gym. Okay, I just take my showers at the gym, and I pay monthly. I pay like $30 a month for my gym membership. We're about 30 minutes in right now. If you've watched the video thus far and this is helping you get through your loss, because it's a loss. It's an L, okay? It's an L. Everybody got to take an L at some point, okay? But until you take the L, only then will you really be able to appreciate the W, okay? You won't appreciate the W until you take the L, okay? You gotta take the L, okay, to get to the W. That's just how it works. And it's not gonna work until that happens. You will only be able to appreciate the W until you take the L. You know what I'm saying? And I've took multiple L's. I've taken multiple L's. But I've also achieved multiple W's, okay? Most of my L's started off with a W. Hence, I got the job. That's a W. Lost the job. That's the L. That's the L. I'm just playing with y'all, but I'm serious though. I'm serious. Okay? Take the L. Take the L with a smile on your face because you know the W is right behind that L. The W is right behind that L. When I was I got locked up. I was locked up for like 6 days this year because I did something. It was a incident or whatever. So and that's why I was on the ankle bracelet, right? So, but I had this wise cat that I had met in jail, and he was the old head of the pod that we was in, right? So what you call it? For the longest, I didn't even know that he knew how to play chess as well as he knew how to play chess. I didn't even know, right? I didn't even know. But he's an old head, right? So I had met this other dude, and he was actually my bunkie. He was real smart, real intelligent dude, right? And he started to teach me how to play chess. So I'm learning, and I'm just like, wow, man. But he was taking it easy on me. But then the old head walked up, and I'm cool with the old head too. So old head walked up, and he took over my game. I allowed him to take over my game and pick up where I had left off in that game. And obviously I was losing. I was losing miserably because I don't know how to play chess. Like, I'm just learning this, I'm a novice. And that's what it is. Sometimes, you gotta start off to be a novice. You gotta, because this is where I'm going with this story. And if, like I said, if you viewed up to this point, like, share, subscribe. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Thank you. I hope I'm not just wasting my breath and just talking to a phone as some people do. But hey, look, so this is what happened. He took over my game, and he came back and destroyed that man, basically. And they fought to the finish. They fought to the finish. They battled to the finish in that chess game. And I'm just looking at the game as it's going because they're just one-upping each other back and forth, just boom, 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 boom. I was like, wow, like, this is cool. So the old head, he actually wound up telling me, like, when he was locked up before, he used to play chess all the time with his cellmate. And he said that he lost over 100 times, like over almost 200 times before he won. Before he got the W one time, I can't make a W that fast. Before he got the W one time, he took over 150 L's. 150 losses. Okay? He took over 150 losses before he got the one W. Before he got the one W, he had to take multiple L's. And then he started to win more and started to win more and started to win more. And he turned out to be a decent, if not almost master chess player. I don't know. I'm sure there's different levels of mastery when it comes to chess. That's not the point, though. Okay, the point is you have to be able to accept defeat, learn from defeat, learn from your mistakes, accept defeat, analyze everything that's taken place, everything that happened, why it happened, and realize that you could do better anyway. I cannot even begin I cannot even begin. I'm not going to give y'all too much information about what's going on in my head. I'm not going to give you all that information because that's mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm going to do. That's my strategy. You got to develop a strategy. But I cannot even begin to tell you all the different things, all the different alternatives I thought of while driving a truck. I'm like, yo, while I'm driving this truck, I could be making money a different way. You know, I could have like passive income and stuff like that, you know, just residual income and royalties and all this, you know, like I could, you know, at least then I'll have a safety net to the point where if I were to lose this job or if I was to stop driving trucks for whatever reason, I still have money coming in. Okay, that was always the plan. Like Jeezy said, thought that was always the plan. That was always the plan, but I got comfortable and I got lazy and I settled into the truck and I said, nah, this is a steady check. I'm getting $1,400 a week, $1,500 a week, $1,600 a week, sometimes maybe even up to almost $2,000 a week. You know what I'm saying? On a truck, yo, you can find a company, yo, you can get paid bank anyway. So, but it's all relative still at the same time because you got people out here that's making thousands and thousands of dollars a week versus me just making that 1,000 plus that 800 for the week. When you got some people that make $1,800 in a day and they don't do nearly as much work as me. They don't have to go out driving an 18-wheeler and risking their life or babysitting people on the road and have to put up with traffic jams and worried about being stopped by cops and pulling into weigh stations and taking random drug tests and all this type of stuff, okay? Being away from their family and friends. Now me, I have family. I don't have many friends, but I have family and I have, you know, specific people that I might want to pull up on sometimes, you know, but I can't do that because I'm out here, I'm driving the truck and now I got to keep going and they're just doing what they're doing anyway, so I just write it off. But I wouldn't have to write it off if I was, you know, in a more financial position to just take time off and work at my leisure and still be stable, right? So we just covered a lot of stuff, believe it or not. If you caught it, good for you. If you know you're still struggling a little bit, hey, it's okay. No pain, no gain. Okay? No pain, no gain. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to do 10 push-ups before you could do 100 push-ups. Okay? You're not just going to jump off the porch and be able to do 100 push-ups. You got to start at 5 or 10. You know what I'm saying? You got to practice doing that. You got to build that muscle. My muscle has been built. I've built the muscle. Okay? And when I said I've built the muscle, like I said, I've had multiple jobs. I've been in a situation. I've been homeless. You know what I'm saying? I've built this toughness, this durability when it comes to job stability or job instability, actually. Okay? Because if this truck not rolling, I'm not making money. Whereas if I had, like, let's say my own LLC or my own business, stuff like that, that's its own entity. And it's not dependent on someone else dispatching me a load or someone else telling me where to go or me having to be at a certain place at a certain time based on someone else's based on someone else wanting me to be there at a certain time. You know, you make your own schedule, okay? And that's how I want to go. So, where are we now? Develop a strategy. Get a game plan. Don't tell everybody your business. Keep it to yourself. It's yours. Own it, okay? Accept the L. Look at the L for what it is. Put the L in your back pocket, okay? And focus on how to get back to the W. Focus on how to get to the W. Accept the L. Put the L in your back pocket or throw the L out. Say, you know what? I don't even need that. You know, like, it is what it is. But don't make the same mistakes. All right, now, I can't drive trucks now. I can't drive trucks anymore. Like, not that I physically can't drive trucks anymore. I'm very good at what I do. You know, despite a positive drug test or whatever they're talking about. Okay. I'm still very capable of fulfilling the duties. However, on paper, the FMCSA, once you have a failed drug test, you can't drive no more. You gotta wait 5 years. You gotta wait 5 years. So, am I gonna wait 5 years just to get back on a semi truck? Come on, yo, that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm gonna depend on the truck. That's what it is. See, like, this whole time I've been driving trucks, it's like I'm dependent. I'm depending on, I don't like to depend on nothing or nobody. You know, and that goes in a lot of different directions. You know, I let the universe do what it does. We're not going to talk about that, okay? How you respond, or how I respond, is going to dictate the results that you achieve. And with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for viewing my channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching this far. And hopefully this helps you, or help someone out there, or you can share this, and hopefully it helps. Okay, write stuff down. Take the L for what it is. Get to the W, and be scholastic in all life's endeavors.